Okay, I'm starting another game here. Here we go. Kaspachev, 1886. Here, let's try e4, I think. e4, e5. Maybe I'll go for the Italian game this time. Okay, you know, I was just looking at one of my old videos on the Mueller attack. Maybe I'll try and play that again. See what he has to say. Oh, he doesn't go with knight f6, so that puts us in a different line. Let's just castle and protect my e-pawn, and then the pin. So in that case, I should protect the center instead. So I'm not going to get in the move d5. That's the effect of that pin. But I do get in b5. That keeps his knight from coming to b4, rather. Yeah, I'm sorry, d4 and b4 is what I meant to be saying. That prevents his knight from coming to a5 and harassing my bishop. So my bishop is secured over here. And let's see, I have to bring my knight over to defend the other knight. So if he takes, I can take back with the knight. And go ahead and bring the knight into f1 to g. f1 to g3, the usual maneuver. And there we go. So now I'm going to play h3, and he has to do something about the bishop, but that breaks the pin. That's one advantage of this maneuver. And he'll either have to take or retreat the bishop. Okay, and he's stopping to think. That's entirely reasonable. Good point to think. Okay, he defended the bishop. That's funny. Is he planning to sacrifice here? I don't believe that is a correct sacrifice. Yeah, so he just wants to exchange. So the pin is gone. You know, maybe he gained some tempos on my queen. What's going on here? This pawn is pinned, so his knight is loose there. But his knight could, if I tried to attack his knight, it could hop into f4 here. Right now, if he plays knight to f4, I would take it. I can put my knight on f5. That might be an interesting maneuver here. Knight f5 and queen to g6, and then I'm threatening to take his knight. Yeah, okay, so he's defending his knight. Queen to g6 anyway. Knight takes, pawn takes. If his knight goes here, I can take it and win a pawn. And I'm also looking at the h-pawn. So knight g6 looks like a good move to me. And I guess I'm not threatening to win any material. I was wondering if I could take the knight, but take the knight. If he takes with the queen, then this would be hanging. But actually, he's defended it with the king, and secondly, he could have taken back with the knight anyway. But, well, this f-pawn is a little weakly defended. On the other hand, my f-pawn is also under attack from his bishop. So I could push on with d4 here and shut out his bishop. That's one idea. And then think some more about if there are sacrifices here that work. Yeah, I don't see anything that's working directly over here. I mean, the bishop is hitting h6 and the knight is hitting h6 and g7. So sacking here and taking here may be an idea, but I need to, well, maybe with the queen on, if the queen were on 3 now, then I could be threatening something. Okay, but he went this way. Where is his knight going? Oh, he takes the pawn with his queen. Okay, so I missed that. Yeah, that's a good enough answer. So bishop here. Where does this queen go? We will find out. Yeah, I didn't notice that that pawn was hanging. So he went that way. So I could play h4 here. He can't take it. The knight is pinned, and if the queen takes, I take the queen. But does that really accomplish much? I mean, h4, he could play h5, or he could even let me play h5. Okay, I can take the e-pawn. He can't take with the knight or the queen, so he has to take back with the pawn. He has pressure on f2 then. Pawn takes, bishop takes, queen takes, pawn takes. Yeah, at the end he still is attacking this pawn. That's kind of annoying. So something like this. Pawn takes, and maybe bishop to e3 to alleviate some of the pressure. Still have this pin on the knight that maybe I can exploit at some point. Like if he lets me take his bishop. Yeah, he doesn't. But I am threatening to win that pawn now. He can just defend it. Okay. Yeah, so that's probably good enough. Let's see, what can I do here? Attack the c-pawn. Can't push his e-pawn forward. I've got that covered. His knight still can't move. I'm not really threatening to take the c-pawn though, because he has rook to c8 and he gets my c-pawn. But it did get the queen out of the way, so maybe I can lift this rook and attack the e-pawn that way. Well, this guy's putting up a much better fight than the other two players on this channel, on this server rather. Let's think. He'll probably invade to d2 if I just retreat the bishop, huh? Bishop takes, queen takes, rook takes is possible, I guess. So bishop takes, pawn takes would leave him with doubled pawns. Let's go ahead and inflict the damage or get a pawn back directly. Needed to do something about that bishop anyway, and retreating didn't seem to work. Defending didn't seem to help a whole lot. Just gave him more time to organize his defenses. Okay, he's thinking now. Yeah, he decides to take with the pawn and not give up his pawn. So I'll just play here. Maybe that's not so good. I was thinking, that defends the c-pawn. which might be useful because then I'm actually threatening to grab his c-pawn. But he can double on my pawn here. I guess I could play rook to f3 if he tries to double on the f-file. And the other idea is for me to double on the e-file and just bring more force to bear on his now isolated e-pawn. So he goes forward. Oh. So that allows me to take the c-pawn and equalize the material, and then I would still have this weakness to play against. So that seems reasonable to me. Yes, two weaknesses I can go after. There's also this kind of weak g-pawn. He invades. That's good. Good strategy to invade. He's hitting the f-pawn and the a-pawn. So I'll come back here and defend. Yeah, oh, so now I see one of the points of this e4 move is it prevents me from playing rook to f3. That's pretty clever. Okay, so if I give back a pawn here, it takes with the rook, I take with the queen. No, that's not working at all. If he takes with the queen, I can trade, but then he gets his rooks lined up. I'm just wondering if I can play rook to e1 here. Let him have the a-pawn or the f-pawn. That gives up two pawns. Or I could try and save the a-pawn. Oh, I guess I could also consider f3. If I play f3 and he takes, then I can take back with the rook. And let's see, but he's got a pin, then he's got a pin on my rook. That would be bad. f3, queen to b6. So, what am I going to do then? Just defend? That seems awful. Still, I don't see an alternative. Oh, I know. I'm threatening to take the e-pawn. There is a bright side here. He takes my a-pawn, I take his e-pawn. And then I have the f-file available for this rook. He could bring his rook over to the c-file. He's got as much pressure to bear on the f-file as he can possibly bring. So he needs to find another target, or I don't know, maybe he can bring more pressure to bear in other ways. Queen forward. Okay, just defending the e-pawn. Yeah, makes sense. And asks me, what do I do? Yeah, push the a-pawn forward. Aha. That's interesting. But I don't have to take his rook. I can leave it there. Well, let's not be too hasty here. I can also move my rook. Since this is now adequately defended. He takes, I take. Let's see what he does. It's kind of a waiting move in a way. I didn't have to be in a hurry to take the to move the a pawn, because if that comes under attack, I can always move it forward then. So it was not necessary to move the a pawn quickly. So yeah, if I take now, he will take on f2. So I need to defend f2. So I'm really threatening to take f3. Now I can push the f pawn forward. If he takes, I can grab the rook. Takes the rook, I take back. He takes. I could also take with the queen. He takes, I take, and I lose the rook. So I go here, he takes, I take the rook. He takes the rook, I take the pawn. He's got a queen check there. I don't know. It's complicated. But, well, I'm low on time, so let's try and clarify things a bit here. So I'm expecting pawn takes pawn, queen takes rook, pawn takes rook, queen takes pawn. And I've got 2 against 3 over here, and he's got 2 against 3 over here. But my pawns are actually better than his, so unless his check leads to some destructive activity, then I should be okay. Let's see, my queen will be here on f2, and my king, or e2, and my king can run to h2 to avoid more checks. His king is safer than mine. He's got more pawns over here. The 3 pawns against 2 are not very impressive since they're just on those 2 files, but his king is safer than mine. Okay, let's see what he does. Does he have some crazy queen move? I mean, if he just moves the rook away, then I'll take the pawn. Or, yeah, if he does something, if he does nothing in particular, then I'll just take the pawn. He can't defend it. So I don't think he has any choice other than to take. Yeah, okay. I guess he did have the possibility, he has the possibility of playing f2 check. I can take with the rook. Yeah, so he did that. Okay. So that was the sequence I expected. Let's see, what has he got here? Anything? He has the check. And that loses a queen. Funny. Okay, so anyway, I don't think I had a winning position there, but I could still press for a win with the extra 3 pawns. He just blundered his queen. He could have gone to a1 or something if he wanted to attack my a pawn. Okay, interesting game. I will upload this and do a postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.